My name is Patabi Ram. I'm a chartered accountant. Across the next few weeks, through a series of financial capsules, I intend to tell you about the other side of finance. When I use the phrase other side, I do not necessarily mean the dark side of finance. I, however, mean that I'll try to talk to you about how to use a few concepts the right way. Today, for example, when it comes to financial matters, a lot many people tell you a lot many things. They talk to you about the sunny side, forgetting about the other side. I'm going to sensitize you to the other side. And, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll open with earnings per share. In this videolet, I'm going to tell you that the hot number that every stock picker speaks about, that every WhatsApp warrior forwards, earnings per share, is not such a hot property, or possibly it is too hot to handle if you don't get it the right way. First up, let me explain to you what is EPS, or earnings per share. And let me borrow the technical language to tell you what you already know, that EPS is the ratio of profit available to equity shareholders to the weighted average number of equity shares. Talk to finance pros and they'll use the jargon. They'll tell you EPS is pace divided by WANES. To cut this jargon into understandable measures, pace refers to profit available to equity shareholders. In other words, it's profit after tax minus preference dividend. This is the money that belongs rightfully, wholly, and totally to the equity shareholders. The denominator is the weighted average number of equity shares. In the course of a year, the equity share number could have undergone a change through inflow of money. And to recognize the timing of the flow, a weighting is done to arrive at the equity shares for the purpose of this computation. But for our purpose, for our understanding, for us to realize, appreciate, and understand that there is a certain other side to EPS which has to be carefully looked at, we don't have to make this subtle distinction between shares and WANES. So, what I'm going to now try to do is to tell you that we will arrive at EPS, and then I'll try to tell you how EPS can be completely misread, misunderstood, and a wrongful analysis can actually be made. We'll watch that on the other side of this videolet. Let me now try and show you how you can end up interpreting EPS in a completely wrong way. Let's take the case of two companies, A Limited and B Limited. Both of them raised 20 lakh rupees in the form of equity. Of course, you can make that a bigger number, you can make that a smaller number as per your choice. So these two companies raised 20 lakh by way of equity. They also issue shares at a face value of rupees 2. You know what is the face value of a share? That is the value that is written on the face of the certificate. Just like rupees 10 is written on your currency to denote that's a 10 rupee note, and rupees 100 is written on a currency to denote that it is a 100 rupee note. So, the value of these shares as written on the face of the certificate is rupees 2. However, when the money is raised, the first company raises it at a premium of rupees 8, which means that they collect 10 rupees per share, which means that they issue 2 lakh shares. 2 lakh shares into 10 rupees per share is 20 lakh rupees collected. Company B does not issue at a premium of 8. It issues at a premium of 38, which means that it collects 40 rupees per share, which means that to garner 20 lakh rupees, it has to issue not 2 lakh shares, but only 50,000 shares. So while the first company has 2 lakh shares and the second company has 50,000 shares, both companies have raised 20 lakh rupees of money. Now let's for a moment assume that the pace of these two companies, the profit after tax available to equity shareholders of these two companies is rupees 5 lakhs. What is the EPS of the first company? The EPS of the first company is 5 lakhs divided by 2 lakh, 2.5. The EPS of the second company is 5 lakhs divided by 50,000, which is 10 per share. And someone who is not privy to this, and you may not be privy to every company as to what was the premium that they raised monies at, would say the second company has done 4 times better than the first company because the EPS of the second company is 4 times more than that of the first company. You're right. The EPS of the second company is 4 times that of the first company. But that does not mean, I repeat, that does not mean that the second company has done better than the first company. In fact, if you compute the productivity of money, if you compute what these two companies have given to the shareholders for the monies that they deposited, you find that both of them are 25%. 5 lakh on 20 lakhs is 25%. Second company, 5 lakh on 25 lakh is 25%. This is loosely referred to as the return on net worth. My argument, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is very simple. Do not get carried away by the EPS number when you are comparing two companies. Do not get carried away by the EPS numbers when you are comparing 2 years of the same company. I'm not saying EPS is bad, don't get me wrong. I'm only saying that you have to take elaborate caution in using EPS as a tool to measure efficiency. The better measure of return to shareholders would be return on net worth and not earnings per share. And if you mechanically multiply P multiple with the earnings per share to arrive at a fair market price and then compare it with the actual market price to take investment decisions, you could actually get led up the garden path. I'll close out by laying down a rule. The basic rule is that use EPS, but use it with care. EPS is not a measure of productivity. The better measure of productivity of money is the return on net worth. Thank you.